Hi, welcome to Blindowl Outdoors. We hope you enjoy our channel, and if possible, could you please join our Patreon page? We really need your help. It's been a long, hard road. Thank you. Hi, welcome to our channel. My name is Dan. I'm here in the Philippines on the Island of Bohol. I'm sitting out here in my car. It's like beyond overcast. About 2:30 in the afternoon. Mosquitoes everywhere. I haven't seen the sun or the stars for, I want to say, 11 days now. It's been nothing but rainy and overcast and dreary. My video today is about, I call this the last, your last option. You don't ever want to get to the point where you need these things, but if you do need them, you'll be really happy you got them with you. Now, my motto is avoid fights at all costs. My dad told me when I was a young kid, he said, and I found out later in my life, my dad was an ass kicker in his day. Big street fighter in his day. He told me, he said, first, I don't want you getting in fights. He said, there's nothing to be ashamed of turning around and walking away from a fight. And he also told me in the same sentence, he said, if you can't walk away and you get forced into a fight or you get jumped or cornered or whatever, he said, you fight like a bastard and you kill him, you beat the shit out of him, and then walk away. Never quit, but just destroy him if you have to, but walk away if you can, he always told me. And the other thing he always said was, go slow. He always told me, go slow. Wherever I'm at, go slow. Slow down, just go slow. And our barber, Herb the barber, used to tell her when we would leave the barber shop, you guys go slow now. Because the barber was in the back room of a bar, and everybody drank. They got a haircut, and that way they didn't get killed. Okay. The things I'm going to show you here are hand weapons. Okay? Now, some of them are good, some of them are medium, some of them are legal. All of them do the same thing, could save your life. First one I'll show you a store-bought one. Here's a Kubaton, they call that. This is made by Cold Steel. It's made out of some reinforced fiber plastic type stuff. You could jack a car up and set this on top of a car and hit it with a baseball bat, and you couldn't scratch it or hurt it. You hold that in your fist like that. They also make them with a point on the end. I recommend everybody, if you're going to make something like this, or here's one that I made. This is made after one that I saw made out of the same material as that, called a Cuba Claw, from a guy down in Mississippi, I think. I can't even remember his name. But this is just a piece of hardwood here. It fits absolutely beautiful in your hand. Mine fits absolutely perfect in my hand. It's got a little curve to it. Now, with this thing right here, you've got the claw to grab hold of somebody if you had to, the point. You've got the tip to uppercut into somebody. You got the other side to hammer fist to somebody. The neat thing about the uppercut, though, is you have this other branch here that no matter how hard you hit somebody with this side here, it's not going to slip out of your hand. So it's a devastating weapon. I always recommend making the point round. You hit someone with an actual point in the temple, you're going to kill them. You don't really want to kill anybody if you can help it. That's not your goal. Your goal, if somebody's close enough to you that you have to take this out of your pocket to defend yourself, your goal is to get away. And you hit hit a couple times, get them down, hit them a couple more times, knock them out or whatever, spit in their face, and get the hell out of there. That's the secret. You know, you don't want to sit there beating on them for 20 minutes and have police and neighbors and everybody getting involved in it. But always a round edge, always a round end on them. Okay. Here's another bought one here. This is called a Kubaton. You see these, and I used to see these on eBay and stuff, like 99 cents, made out of aluminum. This one has a pointish point on it, a roundish point. Again, you hit somebody with that point in the temple, you have a good chance. You could easily kill somebody. If I was going to buy, I bought this one. I didn't buy this one for weapon. I bought this one for untying knots, for you call it FID, which works great for that. But what I did is I tied a lanyard on it, and I put the lanyard in my hand like that, and it gives me a real good grip on the Kubaton. So I could uppercut with the flat end into someone's chin or whatever, and it's metal. It's gonna hurt like you wouldn't believe. Come down with a stab on their shoulder or something, on their arm, or on their collarbone or whatever. You might even be able to break a bone like that with your thumb on top of it. You know, very, very devastating weapon. You don't want to hit somebody in the head with a point though. But there is a couple neat places. There's a spot right behind your. Take your finger and put it right behind your jaw. There's a little dent right there. And push on it hard once with your finger. You will not believe how sensitive that spot is right there. Now, if you had a hold of this in your hand, and you had someone down, and you had this right on that spot, and you're holding them down, you got a good grip on them, I guarantee you that guy's going to quit in a couple seconds, because that's going to hurt more than anything he ever had in his entire life. And if he doesn't quit, you just keep pressing on until he does quit. Eventually he's going to quit. Some psycho on drugs or something, it might not work as good, but that's called a Kubaton. And this bigger one's called a Yawara. I consider this a Yawara, homemade. Okay. Then we're talking about points. Now, I've been before I came here in 2004, my entire life, on and off, different places, different times, I've been a doorman, or not really a true bouncer guy, but I usually work doors, is where I usually at. And if there's problems inside, I'd go inside and stop problems, stuff like that. But I was there to check IDs and make sure nothing happened. And especially mostly in strip clubs, stuff like that, or nightclubs back in Iowa. And I always carried one of these in my pockets. This is called a stinger. It's got a little hole in the bottom there. You can use it as a key ring if you want to, so you can have it with you wherever you go. It's totally legal, almost anywhere in the world, until you use it. If you use this in aggression, offense, this is probably a deadly weapon. But if you have this in your pocket or in your keys, and someone comes messing with you, and you got it in your hand like this, and you punch somebody with this, again, stay away from the temples, but you punch somebody with this right in your chest plate, punch somebody in that as hard as you can, or on the arm, into the bone, they're not going to believe how hard they just got hit because of this little point. It's the guy that made these here called this a force multiplier is what he called it. So this little point here is a force multiplier. It's absolutely wicked. Absolutely wicked. But these are made by some colonel guy in America. I had an original one made out of better plastic and stuff like that. Mine was bright orange too. And I always carried it. I saw a video or saw a commercial one time about it on some show somewhere, and it was like $30. And I was like, man, that's what I need. That's like same thing as putting a roll of nickels in your hand or something to make your hand stiffer or whatever. Well, this makes your hand stiffer for one thing. Second, you have that point. Now, I can't say a lot of times, probably a dozen times over the 20 years before I came here, I had the opportunity to use my stinger. Again, I never hit anybody with it ever. Never ever struck anybody with it. But I had a couple times where you had absolute jerk-offs that were trying to be so macho in a bar and they're drunk or whatever, where I had to grab hold of them and, you know, in a almost a full Nelson or however headlock or whatever I had to do to get hold of them. And a lot of times I'd take them to the ground if I could. That was always I'd give them a judo hip flip and put them on the ground. And then if they don't stop, and I always had this in my hand, and if they didn't stop, then I would take this, and again, I'd go right for that spot on the back of the jaw, and you only got to push on a little bit. I'm like, you have enough yet or what? Let's just fucking knock this shit off. And then they calm down right away. You hold them there for 3 or 4 minutes until they're totally calm, because you let somebody up, they're just going to start all over again. But get them calmed down, walk them out the door, and say, you got to go now. No hard feelings, pal. I'm not trying to be a jackass or nothing like that. I'm not some tough guy. And I never, over all those years that I was a doorman and a bouncer, I never ever had someone ever come back and try to fight me because I controlled them or whatever I did with them. Because I was always trying to be as fair as I could about it. And most of them were stupid drunk, and they knew that later. You know, it wasn't something personal. It was just something that was my job. And I did it for extra money. That was my gun money and my boat money and my motorcycle money and stuff, you know. And plus, I'm in a bar all the time around stripper chicks and meeting people at the door and stuff. In the clubs and that. For me, it was a great time. But stingers are a great thing. You can get these for about $1 on eBay also. Another bought self-defense tool. It's a pair of knuckles. These are steel knuckles. They're not brass. These are steel. Something I bought here in the Philippines. My fingers barely fit in them. Here's another one with points on the tip. You kill somebody with that. You hit somebody with that. But again, if you're that desperate, you need to carry something, that's what you do. Now, I always thought brass knuckles you put over your knuckles, your second set of knuckles, but they're actually only supposed to go over the first set of knuckles here. So they're supposed to be right there. So you punch like that. You're gonna smash the shit out of your hand with the knuckles. But whatever you hit, you're gonna hurt bad. Again, they're great for uppercuts and hammer fists and stuff like that. They're great for strafing across somebody's face, whatever, to cut them up good, just to beat the shit out of them, to stop it there. But again, you get caught with this in your pocket, even if you're not fighting, that's a felony in Iowa. I don't know. Here it's probably instant jail time. Okay, my last self-defense thing is something that I invented myself, was an open end, a round wrench, whatever you call it, a box wrench, and then I cut the handle off and I bent it 90 degrees so that when I put it in my hand like this, it covers the back of my hand for hammer fists, and this front part here is sticking out. You hit somebody in the jaw with this tip, or in their chest plate or their collarbone or whatever, they're going to know it. Let me tell you. This was my first model that I made. I found later, I got some bigger ones too with bigger wrenches. The smaller ones are better because they're much lighter, you can move them faster, and it's steel, so they're just as strong. This is my second model. I like to make these out of smaller wrenches too. This is a pretty big wrench, box end wrench, and I bend it like that so that I can put my hand in it just like that. Again, uppercut, wicked. If I have to start stabbing somebody or beating on somebody with the tip of it, it's going to tear them up. But use a wrench about half the size, and then what you do with it to carry it, you just put this part right here over the top of your belt, and put this part on the outside, and put the other part inside your pants over your belt. And if it's a small wrench like this, or even smaller than this one, you don't even know it's there. But all you gotta do is reach your hand down there, and your hand's in the slot right where it goes, and you got that protected, and it stiffens your hand up and the whole ordeal. It's just it's a little invention I made. Take it or leave it. It's up to you. Take care, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Take care.